Welcome to the Monday Movie Club. This week, Mark, who is an accountant, chose The Accountant from 2016. I'm Frank Gaffney. With us, as always, Joel Fenster has his real name this week. The aforementioned Mark Wotitz Gartner has a picture up. Why does that not surprise me? Goldfuck and Cringer, he changed the billing.
Yeah, he's the much more important one.
And Annie King in the kitchen because she doesn't want to wake people up. That's what we heard. Mark, why The Accountant?
Because they finally made a movie about my life.
Yeah. Could you imagine if this really was your life?
No. But I think this may be the only movie about a badass accountant that has ever been made. Joel, am I wrong?
The producers.
Well, in the
There you go. That's bad, not badass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
he actually was a very good accountant.
Yeah, true.
Well, in this case, he's an idiot savant. You're just an idiot.
Frank has been waiting all week for that joke.
Yeah.
It just came to me just now. Okay, I actually had this movie in my queue at some point, and then I think I read good things about it, and then I was like, ugh. So I'm glad I got a chance to watch it. So this is the plot. Ben Affleck is a mathematics savant who has more affinity for numbers than people. Using a small town CPA office as a cover, he makes his living as a freelance accountant for dangerous criminal organizations and launders money. So then we see him as a baby accountant, and he's diagnosed on the spectrum. And the doctor says hugging, closeness can be a problem. That's also what J-Lo said when she filed for divorce.
First time or the second time?
Yeah, right.
They didn't get divorced the first time.
They didn't?
Did they? Oh, they did. They did get married, didn't they?
Yeah.
Who cares? Then we go to the present day. Good. Okay, good. And so J.K. Simmons is looking for this rogue accountant. Gee, I wonder who can that be? And then more flashbacks. There's so many plots in this movie. Good Lord. And then we go to jail, where he goes to jail. He meets Jeffrey Tambor. Why did he go to jail? I have no idea.
Wasn't that after doing all the murder at the Ravenite?
No,
No.
They arrested him. You have to travel through the flashbacks that go forward. It was from the funeral.
Right.
No, that was it.
Okay, so he meets Jeffrey Tambor, who is still wearing his lipstick from Transparent, quite frankly. And Jeffrey Tambor teaches him about laundering money. And then Jean Smart, yay! But she's not there very long. And her brother is John Lithgow. I'm like, they hired all these people from TV. They couldn't afford movie actors, I guess.
John Lithgow has been in a million movies.
I know, but
Everyone knows him from Third Rock at this
You gotta
point.
realize you're paying Ben Affleck so much money. There's nothing left for anybody else.
Well, I mean, they had to. I mean, they paid money, obviously, to get these people, but John Lithgow probably was like, all right, I'll give you a week. That's it. And I thought, oh, since it's John Lithgow, he must be the bad guy. Why else would he agree to do this? John Bernthal, that's somebody I'm not really a fan of, and he thinks he's a bigger star than he really is.
Never heard of him.
You never heard of him?
He's the Punisher. He was in The Wolf of Wall Street.
He was in The Walking
He
Dead.
was in The Walking Dead, yeah.
And then 30 minutes till we find Anna Kendrick, who we assume is going to be the love interest. But you know, this is the perfect part for Ben Affleck because there's no emotion required.
100% agreed.
Perfect. But this killed me when he goes to do this forensic accounting thing and he puts out all his pens and everything. As you would assume, he's a little
OCD.
OCD. So he needs all of that. But then after he puts everything out, he goes to his fingers. I'm like, wow. Because Ben Affleck probably thought, oh, this will be funny.
No,
And then everybody on the set laughed. Oh my God, that's funny.
They explain it.
Yeah, and he did that in other parts of the film too. Like when he was breaking up his 3 strips of bacon, put around the side of the plate, he did the same thing, you know. beforehand. It's
To
a
show that's his
kick.
autistic
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, it's an autism thing.
It was idiotic. Okay, then we get another flashback, and we realize he was the Karate Kid. Mark, are we going to watch every movie that has even a little bit of karate in it?
Yes.
I did think of you, Mark, at that scene.
Aye. And then, of course, he doesn't seem as autistic when he's beating the crap out of somebody or killing them. He looks them right in the eye, like. So, is there a version of autism that's selective autism? Like you could use it when you need to?
No, but I'm gonna say that the harsh training of his father, and just like how he would roll his shin, it kind of helped break the pattern. I think that's what they were going for.
But he still was. He still had the
Wherewithal?
autism, and
But
still
when
had the autism thing going on. Like he still wouldn't talk to people, but then he would,
But you
torture
can slip
himself.
into it. You could slip into training mode if you do something repetitively. You can offset other natural instincts, which is true.
Can I jump in since Frankie just reminded me and I didn't take notes? Because you said he would do the thing with the knee, roll his knee. What were those scenes where he was in the bedroom for 20 minutes and the flashing and the screaming and the music?
Right, he was torturing himself out of his autism.
Yes, the doctor in the beginning at the facility explains to the father that bright lights and noises will upset him, so let's keep him away from it. And the father said, "No, no, no, we're going to do it more."
Oh, okay.
So it was a very, very harsh
I didn't connect them.
lesson of his father, but they were trying to say that basically this may be able to help cure autism, which I don't really agree with, but that's what they were
Nobody agrees with that. His father was a dick.
It was bringing mine out. I was like, oh my God, this scene has to end.
That's how, the generation before ours,
That's
brought
how
up.
you hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would, because they didn't know from it, so
Yeah.
they would be like, no, do it this way, because be a man, do shit like that.
All I'm hearing is the Jew man saying they didn't know from it.
Right.
All right. So, and of course, exactly as I thought with Gene Smart and John Lithgow. And then the woman organizing his life on the phone, I was like, if that's his mother, I'm going to scream. And then she got him. Oh, yeah. Then the black girl, I don't even remember her name.
Miranda.
She finally realizes who the accountant is. Good Lord. And there's 47 minutes left to the movie. 2 hours and 7 minutes for this movie is way too long. Okay, now it's J.K. Simmons' part, and we got a whole flashback of his whole story. And okay, well, so absolutely everything points to a sequel, and of course they're filming it right now. 8 years it took them to get a sequel going. It was not a big box office hit, but obviously it had an afterlife on Netflix. I don't know.
Not that you could see it there right now, but
no, it can't. It left Netflix September 1st. That's enough of that.
Fuck.
My $3.99 that I paid for
Wow.
this.
Yeah.
I got it from the library, which I always advocate. Wow, that sounded weird. Advocate. All right, so The Accountant was written by Bill Dubuque. Why am I mentioning that? Because the very next year after this movie, he created the much better Ozark, where Jason Bateman is a financial advisor who does money laundering. Same thing. All right. This is a 2.5-star movie for me. I will not be watching the sequel. Do not put it on your list. I
That
didn't
almost
hate it.
guarantees that I'll be on the list.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I watched the entire thing, but it was just all too much for me. Just all too much. Joel, did you enjoy it? Did you see it before?
no, actually, again, we hit one of those rarities that I had not seen. It was one of those movies that came and went in the theaters. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then
And I'm not the biggest Ben Affleck fan.
depends on what he's in. I can like him.
Yeah, I think he's good.
I didn't care. I still didn't care when it came up to watch for this. I was kind of like, all right, I guess I have to watch it. Not far from the worst movie I've ever seen. It reeked of, someone was like, not that they could have done that because I don't think it existed at the point, but it reeked of, a cross between Rain Man and John Wick. And
That's a good way to describe it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's there were parts I liked, parts I didn't. It's the structure of the film is very wonky. There are way too many flashbacks. The pacing is all over the place. There's a
And I think the autism was just a convenient trope. It's
well,
like-
it was. And I think that it's an interesting trope, but it's kind of like, okay, we're making a superhero of sorts for people who are on the spectrum.
then they should watch The Good Doctor on ABC.
Right, well, but he's not a superhero.
He
we're
is a
saying
superhero.
people-
He's a doctor.
There's a surprise in the film that was about as surprising as Benedict Cumberbatch playing Khan in Star Trek Into Darkness.
Well, there's two surprises.
Wait, maybe we should. I know last week we had a very short because I didn't want to do the spoilers, but maybe we should do the whole thing and then go back to the spoilers. So I could say, all right, that's it. But if you want to stay, we're going to talk about the spoilers.
We
Okay.
spoil every week though, except last
Yeah,
week.
this is an 8-year-old movie. We should be able to talk about everything.
No.
Don't tell them that Taylor landed back on Earth.
Ah,
John Bernthal's the brother, and the little girl is the voice in his ear. There
Yeah.
you go.
Is this the part where they blow up the shark?
Right.
Yes.
Anyway, yes, the John Barenthal being the brother was about as surprising as waking up in the morning and going,
They show you that in the flashbacks. He's got a slightly younger brother who also trains, and
again, as Frank said, it was obvious that John Lithgow is the villain because
A mile away.
although at the same time I was like, all right, there's a little bit of, for a while, is J.K. Simmons in on this somehow? Because he had a little bit of
Yeah,
that.
he was pretty cranky in the beginning. I thought,
And I sat there going, okay, so.
but I think they were like, well, we can get him if we beef it up a little bit. So we need to put in this whole backstory so we can get J.K. Simmons to be in the movie.
Right.
So they added that whole backstory flashback. So then he would be like, okay, fine, I'll do it now.
He was on the wrong side because Commissioner Gordon and Batman should be on the same side of things, and that was
right.
that's the thing. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
Depending on if somebody said, "Oh, you should watch the sequel because it's just as entertaining," I'll be like, "I'll get to it in 8 years when I think."
When I put it on, and
yeah, when you put it on the list,
2026.
yeah, I'll give it a begrudging 2.75 for the cast. They're really what kept me interested in the film. So
I wish they had more to do.
Yeah.
Annie King, had you seen it before?
No, I had never seen it, and it's me and Mark because I loved it. I totally loved it. I had so much fun with it. It was good for him because really there was no emotion, but I thought all the little pieces were great, and it was funny because I watched it with closed captioning, so I knew like way early, even though I guess for you guys it's not a spoiler, but way early that it was going to be his brother, right?
Yeah,
He said his name. The
I
closed
read as
caption,
they put that in the closed captioning.
closed caption, he said his name.
Yes.
Yeah, and I read that in the trivia, and they don't often do that. Usually it'll say man, and this time
Yes.
they fucked up and wrote, his name.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was very funny.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I think it like ruined it. But I mean, you saw where it was going. And also the other one, though, I was surprised because I kept wondering when she was going to show up again, the little girl who gave him the puzzle piece.
Yeah.
And I didn't know till the very end.
Yeah.
Right. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not a TV series. He could be Vigilante of the Week kind of thing with her.
I'm working on one.
Oh, okay. What's the one with the guy from This Is Us? It seems
Jason
very much like
Buckley,
this. The somebody.
yeah,
The Tracer?
Trace.
The Tracer?
Oh my God, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Tracker.
Tracker?
Tracker.
Tracker.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
the
haven't seen that.
handler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So one of my favorite scenes was when he dumped the puzzle on the table and he did it all, and I knew he would do it fast. But then to like see it at the when he finished and it was upside down,
Down.
I was like floored. I was like, oh my God, he did it upside down.
Did you see it hanging in his trailer later
Yes.
on? Yeah.
Yes, the Muhammad Ali. Yeah.
yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to know was what comic book did he have? I knew you would know, right? When he's
Action Comics #1.
That was the Superman, basically.
Very first one.
Yeah.
oh, is that
I believe
It
that's the
was
most
also
expensive.
to show
I
how
believe
much
that's the most
money he had.
expensive comic.
Yes, it is the most expensive comic. Nicolas Cage actually
Yeah,
owned a
he-
copy of it for a while. So
yeah, well, I was like, I wonder if it had anything to do with like he played Daredevil. So right.
He also played Batman.
yeah,
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He thought
Batman.
so.
Yeah.
He should have had the first Batman comic.
Yes, but
Yeah.
it was cool.
Yeah,
I like just so much of it, like the Airstream and just the little things that I would like. You know, I was like, oh, I want an Airstream. That's so cool. And, but I liked it. I like when he was writing on all the numbers and he kept going on the walls and everything.
Love that. Love
Yeah,
that.
I thought that was so cool. And I kind of really like that whole premise of people who could do those things, you know,
Yeah.
just like in
Yes.
Rain Man and stuff. So
And Goodwill Hunting.
yes, exactly. Good Will Hunting, which we saw already, right?
No.
No.
Oh, it's on my list. Okay. Because I forgot to cross off the things that I already put on the list. So I know someday I'll go back and write it all down, all the ones we've done. So did we see Runaway Jury yet?
No.
Oh, good. Okay.
Damn it, we saw it. No, I don't.
We saw it run away.
I'm still waiting for you to fulfill that thread of Twilight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I've never seen them.
But well, it's
So-
4 of them. So
Just one.
I haven't even
It's
seen any.
just one. Spread them out over 4 years, Annie. We can't take more than that.
right. So yeah, no, I'm right there with you, Mark. As for me, it was 3.25. Like
Awesome.
I would watch it again.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, it's nice to see the idiots can bond together.
Yes.
And please tell them they're wrong.
You're wrong. No, I did enjoy it, but I'm definitely more in line with my friend to the left and my friend to the right. I did.
Right? So just so you know, Annie is to your left and nobody's to your right for me.
Of course, I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, where is she really though?
On my thing, she's over here, and you're over here,
Because I got there first.
Annie.
right. I did love the flashbacks, and I hate movies, and I also love them later on in the movie when you see a flashback and you're like, what is going on? I don't understand. Like the scene when we first meet Jeffrey Tambor. Like, where are we? What the hell?
Yeah.
So, and the opening being J.K. Simmons, that was fun. You didn't know. So
Amy,
I
I
like
just-
that one.
You're talking too loudly.
Yeah?
Sorry, I just
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to jump. I just wanted to jump in and say that I normally agree with you very much. I say it all the time. I'm an idiot. Please explain. When you do a flashback and you don't explain it, I really hate that. For some reason, in this movie, it did not bother me. That's
Yeah.
what I'll say.
The first time you saw it or the 5th time you saw it?
This probably was the 5th time I've seen it.
Yeah.
And the first time I maybe found it a little bit confusing, but it didn't bother me. It was more of a mystery. Like, oh, what's going to happen here? Who is this?
Right.
Yeah, but I think it was hard for me to realize at first it was a flashback with Jeffrey Tambor. I'm like, why is he all of a sudden in jail?
Right? It didn't go.
Yeah, I need the blah, blah, blah. But I loved it when we saw it play out later on. But
Did you agree with me that Jeffrey Tambor had lipstick on?
I've always thought that about him. There are certain people that just have bright red lips, like I have right now.
Yeah. It
But
was
yeah,
weird.
he has always had weird, juicy red lips. But I love him. Juicy. So yeah, the pacing was killing me. I couldn't believe we still had another 40 minutes to go, another 30 minutes to go. We don't need all these scenes, so that was killing me. I would have done an hour and 40 minutes and it would have been fast paced and wonderful. I'm going to give this 2 3/4 stars. I don't need to see it again, but I enjoyed it. It was fine.
Well, I also love the little bits with like just his aliases, using the mathematicians' names
Yes.
and stuff, like that kind of thing. Just
Yeah,
It was just
absolutely.
more for the black girl to figure out.
yeah.
Yeah, I did like that too. I think the sum of the parts wasn't as good as the parts.
Yes.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Right. No, it had some very interesting ideas, but the execution, the director should be executed. All right, Mark.
Before I go to my notes, I just say the same thing. Like Annie was saying, for me, we do have the same likes in movies because I loved all that stuff, especially watching it. I've seen it multiple times now, so you really just pick up on a lot of that. And Annie, also, like you said, I fully agree. Just the idea of somebody like Rain Man or like Ben Affleck in this Christian, that the stuff that you can that they're able to do is just mind-boggling because I'm very good at math. I was in math honors, and I'm just with basic arithmetic, I'm very fast. You know, you give me this plus that, and Danielle is not. So it is sometimes very frustrating, which I can relate to Christian in that because it's like I already know the answer, and why are you counting on your fingers? I know it, but so then
No, Amy and I had the same thing because when we worked in the bagel store, you had to add up the receipts on a bag with a black pencil.
okay,
So we got very good at adding
just
stuff up.
quickly, right? And then when you take it to the level he's at, though, it's just fantastic. So also the big dude that he fights on the farm when he's shooting and he kills everyone. That guy is Tate Fletcher. He was on season 2 or 3 of The Ultimate Fighter. So and he shows up in movies every once in a while. I'm like, oh, that's Tate. So
Good old Tate.
yeah, good old Tate. Um, so back in March 2017, this movie came out in 2016. So
Right.
March 2017, it came out for streaming. I think I actually bought it on Prime. Danielle was in the show.
Again?
Yeah,
Again?
I bought
Why
this
don't you
twice.
own it if you love it
I know,
that much?
I should. I stopped
Really?
buying movies. I don't buy them anymore.
Well, once you purchase it,
Yeah, you should.
Yes,
stream, shouldn't it still be there?
on Prime, sure. But did I know that this movie was going to be any good when I saw it for the first time? No.
No.
Just rented it.
Yeah, I rented it.
You rented it. You just said you bought it.
Oh, did I?
Oh, that's
I'm
what he
sorry.
meant. He meant
No,
rent.
I rented it. Yeah. Anyway, I rented this. I watched this because Danielle was in a show when she was Ursula, and I watched this on a Saturday night by myself, and then Doctor Strange the week after, which was I think free on Netflix at the time. And I like both of them so much that I made Danielle watch them on that Sunday. So I watched it 2 days in a row, both movies, because I enjoyed them both that much. And that's probably why I like it, because I watched it again the next day, and I picked up on the little things that I was a little bit confused about the night before.
And you were telling her this was your life story.
Obviously, I said it as soon as they came out in theaters. I think I put a post up on Facebook. They finally made a movie about me. Why the hell did they get Ben Affleck to play me, though? You know, and that's what I was going to say here.
I think that you're pretty comparable.
I have no emotion.
Yeah. Looks wise.
I'll take that. Even though Danielle says she's got crazy little baby teeth that she hates.
Yeah, he does have little baby teeth.
And that's what I have in my notes. I'm not the biggest Ben Affleck fan, but I did think he was fantastic in this. And him and Anna Kendrick's when they first meet in the boardroom, it was so awkward. And then them also at lunchtime afterwards, it was just you could feel the awkwardness there. I thought that was absolutely perfect. And I like the rest of the cast. We all know J.K. Simmons can do no wrong.
Or J.K. Rowling, as Amy said.
Who only does wrong at this point.
And how Ben Affleck's character despises interacting with other people reminds me of at least 40% of this Zoom. And I'm looking
Hey,
at
are you
both
calling me fat? No.
Amy feels seen right now.
Yeah. And also, as we talked about, I don't really agree with it, but I did find the perspective on basically a super autistic person by harsh training. I mean, it's been done in, harsh training through martial arts with regular people and so forth. So I'm glad that at least that they didn't downplay autism. They just treated it differently, I would say. So I appreciated that part. I also appreciated how efficient he was when disposing with someone. He always did that double tap. If you catch it, like there was a pattern to what he did. Like I think because of the autism, it was great because if he would train to do something a certain way, if you were trained to do something a certain way, and you got emotionally, oh my God, it's my brother, you may not follow through. You may not. He would, if he's gonna do 1, 2, 3, he does 1, 2, 3 every time, and
And
that was repetitive.
that extended to a lot of other things in the film. I mean, if you remember,
Yes.
like he made 3 pancakes, it was 3 fried eggs, it was 3 strips of bacon, it was, you know, a lot of
And what
things
I-
in this movie.
And what I have in here, what my favorite part of the whole movie was the damn garage door opener. How he had that timed perfectly, and then you can see when he was rattled that it didn't work, and I thought that was fantastic. Anyway, that's it. I guess for me, I've seen it 4 or 5 times. Very enjoyable. Just like Andy, this is my type of movie, and it's also 3.25 for me.
Okay. And that's what makes movies so great.
Yes.
The Accountant was just removed from Netflix, so you have to rent it. And you rented it again instead of buying it this time. Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's an accountant.
Uh-huh.
Financially irresponsible. Next week, we celebrate the 60th anniversary of Goldfinger. Guess who picked that one?
We're all pointing different.
Yeah, I think he's here.
It's like a backwards Brady Bunch.
Wait, is it available? I don't think it's available streaming.
If it's anywhere, it might be on Amazon. I have no idea.
No, it's not.
It was somewhere last year because I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you remember it from last
It
year?
was on Prime. Oh,
Is it the movie with the island?
No.
They go to an island?
That was the first one.
Yeah.
yeah, we watched. What was the
There's a
first
lot of
one?
islands.
Dr. No. Yeah.
Dr. No, From Russia with Love. Oh,
Did we watch From Russia with Love?
Yeah.
And Dr. No?
Yeah.
Wow.
This
Okay.
is the 3rd year. Joel's been doing them.
You're gonna get one more next year, and then I'm
Yeah.
stopping.
Right, because there was a little break between movies.
Yes.
Wasn't every year. But Joel, we might as well just keep going,
Well, we'll see.
even if it's a year early.
Definitely saw Goldfinger.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
actually is my favorite one.
I think I liked it.
All right. So that's it. I'm Frank Gaffney. Go watch a movie.
And also with you.